We're sailing into the future.
Yes, we are.
Okay. The regular June meeting of the Calvert City Cemetery Board is called to order June 23rd at 4:32. Our first order of business would be to read the minutes and have approval of the April meeting.
Here.
Those present, I better do that. Those present, Dale Smith, Mike Carroll, Janet Jordan, Gayla Gregory, Ashley White, John Ward, and Elson Quick. Absent, Jeff Harrell. Jeff's on there.
I move we accept the minutes as written.
Mike Carroll makes the motion to accept and Dale second. What?
Do the next one.
What?
We have Joe.
Do it. It's all last today.
Not everybody's out left field as much as I am today. That's good. I don't know. I have no control over him at all. So
Over who?
this,
I have no control over her either, so I
Okay.
understand it. I understand your pain.
and every time I turn around, I'm sitting next to him at something, you know. Okay. So all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, so we have approved the minutes. Old business updates, Mr. Ward. Update?
It's all the same right now. Actually, the AFS is moving up. We're finishing up right now, I think, with forms. We've already got the map and everything set up, but they're doing the forms now as we speak. So once the forms are together, and it should be close to initializing it and going forward. But I've told him that I want to do a demonstration with you guys before it goes live.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. How about? Is the memorial old business? Can we discuss?
It's always old business.
Okay, can we discuss it a little bit?
You can. Go
I've
ahead.
been looking at pictures, so. In my little drawings here, which I couldn't put, this was the drawing that you had given us originally. Everybody remember that one? I was looking at some that had. What I was thinking was if we balance that side with a columbarium side, it's something, you know, round with the benches.
Mhm.
That if we did, I saw an example of one. That if you had your flagpole, and I thought was maybe we could even do 3 flagpoles. The United States flag with a POW flag under it, the state flag and the city flag. Would that? I'm just, all
Yeah, no,
I
yeah, I
just-
mean, it can be done.
right, I'm just saying, I mean, we have nothing so far, so I thought we'd start with something. And I saw several that had like a large stone in the middle. And if you put 6 benches around it, if we could afford granite, don't know, I mean, I know that's a big thing. And each of the services then could be represented on that bench. And,
Okay.
and in the middle, there were some that would have like a large, just like a headstone. And like something like on one of them, it said dedicated to all veterans like of Calvert City to the honor and glory of those who bravely served to keep our country, I can't read long writing, our country a land of freedom. Something like that, or
As opposed to going ahead and putting names.
I was
That's
thinking
gonna be
about,
more difficult, honestly, it will be. Cause the only way I could think to do that would be putting bricks in
right.
on the ground where you buy the brick.
And the thing about that is, you know, we have so many people who were veterans who no longer have anyone that would purchase a brick. Really? I mean,
And
unless
maybe they could pre-purchase one like they do on their lot.
that would be the only thing. And I mean, if we had this in the middle, you could even put the bricks around it to where you wouldn't have to be tearing things up to get them out. I just my little mind has just been thinking.
Well, a lot of the bricks are preset, okay? They're just plain bricks preset, and then as
And then
one
you
is
take it
done,
up.
you pull it, when you order the brick, okay, they send you the brick in, you pull one out, you set that one in its place. And then, you know, that's how they do that.
Mhm.
And so that means that nothing is ever, there's no hole at any given time, because when one comes out, the name goes in.
How much, do you have any idea of how much a brick costs?
Really, it should be a whole lot, because a lot of time, I think they were doing them for $25 a pop at
That's been-
Fairview.
Oh,
That's a long time ago.
long time.
But now, you know, we still do that hot at Headstone marker. That's still got it at $100 for us, so it's not changed. So if that, you know, that was another thought, you could use that to purchase the stone if you putting up the $100 marker fee and then you get your tombstone there, then you could use proceeds from that to pay for the stone if you wanted it.
Mhm.
But I'd have to go back and talk to somebody that does that. I don't really know that price, but that was something else. And you're thinking doing like a memorial bench for each of the services.
Well, I mean, I
on-
just.
No, I
ideas
like the
was looking
idea.
at.
That's why I'm just trying to make sure I
Because I mean,
understood.
you know, we had the 5 and we have to go to the 6.
Mhm.
Or like, I saw a couple examples and I'm sorry, I couldn't print them out. I'm not smart enough to do that. Anyway, like on columns behind the flag around this way, you know, like on a column with the seal of each of the services.
But the bricks will still be there with a name on them close to that bench, or how
Well,
does
if
that
we,
work?
if we opt to go with names, I mean, to me.
As
it's-
opposed to
like
doing
names.
names engraved or something like that, that gets to be very. I don't know, you run out, sooner or later, you're gonna run out of space, and
That's
what do you
true.
do then?
Well,
With the other, I mean, you can always expand the bricks,
Mhm.
keep going around, add another row outside, keep going if you need to. And we've got that whole area down there, so if the whole area is done bricks with a border, like a concrete curb border around it, and you do the bricks throughout, then you have all of that ground that you can cover
Mhm.
still. As long as it's not underneath one of the stones or,
I like the idea of the bench.
Yeah.
People could sit on there and, right, I mean.
yeah. Or are you thinking,
I like a granite type bench more than the ones like at the Columbarium, the metal ones. I just don't know if a seal would look right.
I think if you would do, yeah, cause I don't know what, putting on a plaque, you're gonna need something that can be inlaid. I'm thinking, I don't know, cause the plaques that you get on benches and stuff like that is generally a plaque like this. Just the wording. Whereas you're wanting,
A
and,
seal.
and I agree with you, putting in the seal of
Yeah.
the branch of service. And then putting that in, and that would be, you'd have to, an inlay where it could be glued or glued or put into that. So yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea. I don't know if it'd be granted or not. You want one with a back on it too, I take it.
Oh, I don't think it would have to be. I wish I had that picture. I just drew
I
pictures.
think it would be
You don't
more
wanna see my
comfortable, but
pictures. Or there was one that it had like it was like this, and then it had like a curved
Arch.
this way, well,
Oh.
like a part of an arch, and it had the seals on it, the 6 seals on it.
well, that's cool.
Mhm.
I was just looking. They had one that was like with the bricks of the names, had like 2 columns, and the bricks were in between. You know, they connected to the columns. That was kind of cool looking. But I just thought if we could start maybe coming up with some ideas
Mhm.
instead of just not doing anything.
What was the webpage site? I mean.
Oh, I just
we could bring it up, maybe.
Googled examples of veterans memorials. And, you know,
Well, I think that doing the brick is actually gonna be something that's more in our price range. And then doing a bench, the flagpoles are gonna get expensive depending on the size that you're gonna put in there.
oh, we want at least one flagpole.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. Yeah, the American flag for sure. No, that was in everything we've ever done. And
What do they have up here at the airport?
that's that holds a 4x5, which is, I wouldn't go any bigger than that.
But I mean, we have the the
that's
American
a-
and the
that's a-
city and the state up there, don't we?
We got three, yeah. Yeah, the American flag is a 4x5, 4x6. And the the Kentucky and the city flags are 3x5.
I just thought it'd be neat to have the city flag. You're not saying anything. Why don't you say something?
Just listen. When I come
Well,
up with
I
the
think-
idea, I'll tell y'all.
Oh, you're so
like it.
full of it, Mike. But anyway.
But I like the benches, because we talk about those columns all the time, them big,
Mhm.
they're expensive.
Yeah, and again, the reason that we looking at columns and thought about that, because I thought we were
The
putting
names.
names on it.
Mhm.
But the more I thought about that, the more like, we're gonna run out and then what do we do then? And then as far as I thought, why don't we just do the brick? So I mean, we're on the same wavelength on that one. I had a change of heart, the more I got to thinking about it and the future of it. You know,
Well, I mean, I think that's one thing we really have to consider is, I mean, we're all not going to be around. It needs to be something that can be taken care of in
that's-
years to
that's-
come.
that's probably a
Mhm.
service that we could actually run through AFS as well. AFS may be able to handle that for us, where that person can, there's certain services, we haven't added the funeral flower service or something like that, where you can go through that AFS or through our funeral setup and order flowers on it. We didn't do that,
Mhm.
because that means we gotta have one here in town, and we don't have one that's like tied to what do I wanna say? What's that
To a
flower?
chain,
To a
national,
chain
like,
flower service,
either.
so. And on top of that, we only have one, and so that means we're benefiting somebody with this and not others. And so it's kind of a difficult situation, so.
I don't think you want to take from local businesses either.
I'm
Which
not
I think
necessarily
you-
either, but
I
I'm
think you
not,
would do.
but we also are not supposed to, my folks are not supposed to recommend services to people.
Right. Well, they
So
don't,
that's the
but,
reason we don't.
but if there's one florist in
But
town,
they can do that, they
You
can
know.
call them and get that information. They don't need that from us. We don't need to do that. But if we were to do something where we have a bricks, stuff like that, and we have a contract with somebody, then we could actually put that in there. So,
okay, just ideas.
well,
To be thinking about.
I like it.
And I mean,
I'll work with that.
you have the capacity to do things like
Yes.
this and I don't,
Okay.
so.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not trying to be bossy. I'm just, you know,
I didn't say you were.
okay.
See, them.
I agree. I agree.
Okay,
I'm telling you, he is.
You're my favorite, you know that.
what?
She's my favorite.
What? I don't care.
Because I give
She's
him
my-
you're gonna get
She
in
is,
trouble.
she is mine too.
I give him more trouble than anyone else. You don't have to say I'm your favorite because I know I'm not, so that's all right.
Be careful or you'll be sitting
Don't
over
have a whole lot
here.
to
She
do,
does
right?
good.
Yeah. Busy man.
See if I show up for Sunday school next week. Okay. Do we have any new business? Anything?
Budget's fixing to close out. We're gonna be under budget, so it's not gonna be a great deal under budget, but it is under budget. So it's doing well. We start the new budget next Tuesday. That's when our new budget for fiscal year starts. So
How's the new mowing going?
it's going as well as it can, considering the
Uh-huh.
flooding. I mean, I'm recommending people that grow corn and wheat move to rice.
I was really surprised going through the cemetery. I mean, that drainage work that they did really, really helped because I mean, if they hadn't, that lower area
Yes,
would have been flooded.
Yeah.
And it didn't look
I
like
think
it.
we've
Yeah.
done well all over. here.
We, a lot of the flooding is actually handled well by the pond or the water feature there is part detention basin.
Mhm.
Not totally, but part detention basin, because it is designed to take so much water and then release it as well. Because it goes there and holds it and then releases it out. And same thing with, only on a larger scale, over on Cedar and Sixth. That holds so much more. And I don't know how many times it's probably saved a bunch of folks downstream. I mean, we actually, that Saturday, not this Saturday, the last Saturday, when the heavy rains came in that day, and it didn't hit every part of town, but it did hit Camelot. It hit it hard. And when it did, Camelot Drive for the first time in the 20-something years that I've been here was underwater.
It was.
It
As you could
was.
turn into it?
No, I'm talking about on the backside
Down
over.
below.
Oh,
toward
down where
Lloyd's.
Lloyd lives.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was literally not just on the water, on the road. It was over the road. Completely over the road.
The apartments haven't flooded since we put the base of it.
They have not. I'm proud to say they have
Yeah,
not.
that's a good deal.
And neither have houses down on Arkansas and Arizona and, you know,
Mhm.
down that way either. That detention basin has probably done more good than probably anything we've done for stormwater management in a long, long time. I'm happy to say that.
Well, they're fixing that one down there by Minute Mart. Is it called Minute Mart?
Whatever, yeah.
I noticed across the street going toward the church. They fixed that basin for,
Casey's,
yeah, Casey's
okay. Oh, are you talking about on Casey's side or across the street?
across the
Other
street.
side.
That's us. So we're putting in, we're
I know.
actually cleaning that out so that we can actually get to it.
It looks good.
So, but we have, well, we pretty well got all that down to there. It was deeded back to us. Once they carved off the area for, the Dollar, or the Family Dollar. They deeded the rest of that parcel back to us. And so a lot of our drainage, like you said, goes down through there, but it also, we've got, utilities that run down through there as well.
Does
So
the
we,
city own from the Family Dollar over to Fifth Avenue now? Who owns it?
we do.
Really?
All of it.
It was, it was deeded back. The people that bought the land, they developed that section and then donated the rest of it to the city.
Hmm.
With the exception of giving a pathway, a permanent easement for their sign.
Mhm.
They wanted that. So they supposedly gave that to them prior to us getting it
Do you think they'll ever be cleaned out?
all the way.
Just asking.
Where's all the way? I'm trying
All the
to-
way down, because it goes all the way down to the ditch that turns and goes back to, I guess it's Alaska or Arizona.
Okay.
No
Mm.
critters living there.
I saw some few odd ones when I,
Critters live all
Running-
over this community.
They- more than they used to, that's for
We
sure.
had a
Crawdad
coyote
in our
that
yard.
got in my
I
driveway.
see coyotes walking through ours.
Oh,
Yes.
Came right up, I'm standing there, he's coming right at me. It's like,
Oh.
"Whoa."
What was it?
Coyote.
Oh.
And he ended up about as far away from me as you are.
Yeah,
And I turned my little solar light on and he goes,
I see him across the road, you know, that great big tree across from me. And nobody's cleaned out under the tree. I think I saw him going in there.
really?
Yes. Scary.
It's
I wish-
amazing what a trail camera showed. And
Do you
I
have
could
one?
I got them out in the woods, you know,
Yeah,
and you never know what you're gonna see back there. You didn't even think about.
we
But
won't go there
coyote-
now, stop.
it. Well, my
we won't go
brother-in-law,
out at
he
night.
come over to water the flowers one night. And he heard a blood curdling scream out in the woods. That boy had not been back to the house. And I don't know what it was. I just don't know what, I've never heard, and I lived there 37 years.
Hmm.
But you just never know what's gonna show up
Yeah.
on trail camera. And sometimes some trespassers might be.
Oh,
I should turn my AC on Friday morning
Can you believe that?
and I slept on the cover every night, I'm sorry. But I had the patio door open and I'm sitting there watching TV. And I'm, what's that? And I look up, two eyes are looking back at me. It was a raccoon. I'm like, just go away.
okay. I guess we're finished.
Well,
Oh,
I got one question and I don't wanna ask it, but
You go
Go ahead.
right
I have
ahead.
to
Go-
ask it.
go
Here
for
it
it.
is.
You're troublemaker now. I'm out of that role.
And we're gonna talk about Ronnie Thompson for just a second.
does it have anything to do with cemeteries?
Yeah, it
Okay,
does.
all right,
Okay.
It is cemetery.
okay.
He asked me, I just let my mouth go wild and I said I was on the board, so he had questions. He said when he passes and his sister passes, they want to be cremated and put in the lot they have. Do they have the right to do that? They
Nope.
don't, okay.
One, it has to be one burial
Oh.
and then one cremation,
I was
but you
getting ready to
can't
say
have two
yes.
cremains in it. We changed that because we didn't want people buying a $275 lot and putting cremains in when they should be bodies in those lots. And that's the whole point of that.
I
We have a
remember-
columbarium for that purpose. Or a second person could be put on top of a body. But as it is right now, they cannot have two cremains in one lot. It has to be a body and a cremate.
So one of them has
Yeah.
to,
You understand
I,
why?
well, I
Yeah, I mean,
understand
to-
why, I just know that,
But yet they can both be in the same lot, but one has to be a traditional burial and the other one can be a cremate.
yeah, well, I understand that, and I remember I was talking about that before, but I just know that probably, more than likely, and it's just my thought, that Ronnie would not be able to buy, be able to put a burial spot in. Just because it's financial, I don't know, but he just mentioned that to me, and I thought, well, I'm gonna find out. So if he asks me again, I'll know, so.
Hmm.
who's
I'll
his,
just tell him.
who's
That's
his
what
sister?
Brenda, she's
Brenda,
my age, she went to school with me.
Brenda
and
what? What's her name?
She was, well, I don't know what I don't know what her
I'm
married
trying to
name
place,
is,
I
but
know Ronnie, okay.
Brenda's her. She's 4 or 5 years ahead of Ronnie. Anyway, that's what that was my thought, question.
That was my answer to my cousins. Because they wanted to be buried next to their father. They're from Texas, and there's 2 spots left on their lot. There's 3 graves. There's 3 cremains, and she wants to be cremated, and put, I said, all right, can't do that. I'm gonna have to go kill somebody, put them in there, and
It's getting worse. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Michael made that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gayla will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We adjourn at 4:54.